Hi, Kristin. How are you?
Very well. Happy New Year to you, Daniel. It's
Hap-
wonderful to get together again.
Yeah, it's always nice to see you and Happy New Year to you as well. Yeah, it's very fortunate to talk to you at the beginning of the year. I wanted to sort of get your take because I know things are busy at Alma and things are moving along, and you've had so much experience in the industry. Can you talk to me a little bit about what's going on within the river cruise industry right now? Has demand shifted? Has the booking windows or time periods where demand is high changed throughout the year?
We had an incredible 2023, and every month was a stronger booking month. Even the month of December was so successful. And now leading into the new year, we see truly so much consumer demand. It has never been as good and as strong as what we are seeing right now. We are actually starting to cruise on board our Magna on the Danube and the Lucia on the Rhine River in February now in
Oh, wow.
2024. For the first time, we are starting so early because the demand is so high, and we see quite a group of guests who would love to travel in the so-called off or new season with lower airfares, with less crowds. It's more authentic, it's more intimate, and this is quite a new trend among travelers to immerse themselves in the culture of the region when it's not so busy.
Yeah, I want to just ask a follow-up on that one. Last summer in Europe was very crazy for a lot of reasons. The crowds, the heat. I know a lot of travelers, especially the FIT travelers, had different experiences in Europe than they typically have simply because how busy it was. Are
Yeah.
you seeing that trend you described, the shoulder season booking, the off-season booking, as a direct result of even just what's going on, what was happening last summer?
I think it gradually happened that our guests, river cruisers, want to go more in the off season and want to travel at pretty much any months of the year. When we started AmaWaterways, and will be now 22 years, um, we truly had a difficult time in the beginning to even get guests on board in the later part of October. And there was no cruising in November, December. In fact, we were one of the first ones to start with the holiday cruises in December. Rudy always wants to push the envelope to
Yeah,
extend the season.
yeah,
And now you see December was our most successful month with completely full ships booked to capacity pretty much on every ship. Even in France on the Rhone River, where we introduced the holiday markets only 2 years ago. So it really has developed over this time, late October, early November. For me, is my favorite time because of the fall colors. The weather is nice and mild, not so many crowds. And of course, we all know airfares are much lower than in
yeah.
July and August, the school holiday season. So there are definitely a lot of advantages to this.
Yeah, that's great. And I'm just curious. You mentioned you're adding sailings in the beginning of the season, or you're pulling the season up a little bit. Has the demand is pretty strong even for those new sailings that you've been adding, right?
It definitely is. Well, February is the month of love, right?
Yeah.
And it's always about the gift of travel. So we
Okay.
see not just couples giving themselves a trip, but we also see families just treating themselves for the experience. And this is, of course, what we see now much more post-COVID when families couldn't get together. And we all need to be prepared. We don't know what's coming tomorrow. So it is today. Everyone wants to use the time today and wants to create an experience for life. And it's about making the memories. Hmm?
Yeah, yeah. So I also wanted to ask specifically about the travel trade and travel advisors. The travel advisors I speak to, a lot of them talk about booking a river cruise or even booking a tour, but having these bookings and then going the extra step to start to personalize these for their guests. That seems to be a component their guests and their clients really want now. They want some level of personalization. And I was hoping you could talk a little bit about that. If a travel advisor is booking a river cruise sailing, what kind of things can they do to add that a certain level of personalization to it?
Of course, Danielle. Well, first of all, river cruise ships are already very small, very intimate, And the ability to personalize experiences is becoming really important, particularly to the affluent traveler.
Okay.
Guests, especially those traveling with a multi-generational family, have different interests and activity levels, and they want to be free to choose from several guided tours. And we are truly the river cruise line that is including most of, or is including, how should I say it, really a lot of different shore excursions in the cruise fare. So it is about having the choice between a wide selection of these excursions included, no matter if you want to start, let's say, at 9 o'clock in the morning or you want to sleep longer. So we have our late riser tours for the ones that want to just start a little bit later. We have our active hiking and biking tours. We have our tours, our regular city tours for the ones interested in the history. We have musical tours, we have culinary tours. And of course, this all makes the groups much, much smaller. And we never cancel a tour. So sometimes we have a gentle walking tour with just 1 or 2 gentle walkers. And we still provide the guide. We provide everything. And there we have 2 guests going. Maybe on a biking tour, there are 10 guests, 20 go on a hiking tour. So it is truly personal. And if clients really say they want to have a private tour just for the couple, of course, we are able to organize it like a concierge service that you can have in a hotel.
Oh, that is great. I also wanted to ask about personalization when it comes to pre and post. I know a lot of advisors have different philosophy with that, but that does seem like that is getting more pickup amongst consumers now than prior. It does seem like you mentioned like this desire to travel is propelling people to want to extend a stay, or whether it's pre or post of sailing. And is that what AmaWaterways is seeing as well?
Yeah, so we are very, very proud to have so many wonderful pre and post land extensions to our cruise, and they are all hosted by our cruise managers. Again, in this case, then the cruise manager will act like the concierge. Let's say we start in Budapest with a pre-land tour. We have our desk in our chosen beautiful hotel. Cruise manager is there. We organize all the tours. We give recommendations for special dinners. So it is there. And then, of course, cruise manager will go with the guests to the ship. We will have a nice cruise. And then we might go to Prague, let's say, if it's the Danube afterwards, and have a 3-night post extension with beer tasting, city tour, a nice folklore evening, and of course, everything what the heart desires. And also some of those more hidden places that may be a little bit more difficult to find for our guests. So the cruise managers who are usually born in these destinations, they are the locals. They have all the insider tips at hand. Definitely people travel longer. So we see it not just with the pre and post tours. We see our guests booking back-to-back cruises. Maybe even they book a cruise in France on their own from Arles to Lyon, take the TGV to Paris, spend some days in Paris, go from there to take a Seine river cruise with us as the next destination. So definitely longer travel. We will also reintroduce our 14 nights Magnificent Europe cruise between Budapest and Amsterdam in 2025 again. And in addition, we will have longer cruises. We always had our Grand Danube cruise, the upper and the lower Danube cruise together, but you can easily combine Holland and Belgium. And then, of course, cruising the Rhine from there. You do Holland, Belgium, go back to Amsterdam and cruise from Amsterdam to Basel. And you can do it even on the same ship. Yeah.
All right. All right. Anything else for the travel advisors out there? Anything new? Anything other updates? I know it's always a very exciting time at AMA, but anything you specifically want the travel advisors to know as they start, looking into 24 and 25 when talking to their clients?
Well, first of all, we are incredibly our travel advisors are so supportive. And, we only work with our travel advisors, and we are so grateful for, all their support. It's about trust, it's about flexibility, it's about loyalty. And you usually know it. Everyone can excel and perform when the times are good. But the way we have seen us and our travel advisors working together also in times that were more tough during the COVID times, we could not have better partnerships. And we will continue to be the most loyal river cruise line to our travel advisors. We see such an explosion in demand. Again, the booking pattern looks amazing. And we look forward to many, many more happy and successful years, not just 2024, but 25, 26, and a great future together. And we always promise to add new destinations for our travel advisors, because we want to always create new opportunities to build up this to-do list, to earn more commission, to combine cruises together. And honestly, the future looks so bright, and we are very, very grateful.
Yeah, and I know
Thank
how
you so much.
excited I know how excited the advisors get when they see a new destination for Mama. So we'll keep an eye out for that. But thank you so much for talking to me today, for taking the time. I know how busy everyone is, so I really do appreciate it.
Thank you so, so much, Danielle. And again, here's to a wonderful time together and many, many more years to come. All the best to you.
All right, you too.